Hello everybody, and welcome to our second friendship bracelet tutorial. If you already saw the first one, the Chinese staircase, this is a perfect second step for you. It's another easy one. Don't worry, we'll get into the harder ones later. But for now, we're going to be learning the candy stripe. It's a series of 2 rows of stripes, and it's super similar to the Chinese staircase in the way that we're going to be doing the forward 4 knots. So let's just get right into it. As you can see, we have all of our supplies all laid out and ready on my desk. So I have my tape, my scissors, and then 3 different skeins of string. You can pick however many colors you want, but for this tutorial, I've actually chosen 3 different colors, for purple, green, and blue. So you're going to cut 2 strings of each color, making 6 strings total, but I just make 1 long string of each color and fold it in half so it's a little easier, and I have like a nice loop when I'm done. You can do it either way, but for this video I'm just making 3 long strings, folding them in half to make a nice little loop. So now we're going to get our tape so we can secure our bracelet to my desk. So first I'm going to tie a knot in the string right up at top with the loop, and I like to make my loop a little extra big. I don't know, it's just something that I do, but you can really make it whatever size you want. Just make sure there's a little room up there, and then I'm going to secure that down with a piece of tape and make sure it's super secure because this bracelet is a little more tricky. It's a little more messy and easy to get tangled than the Chinese staircase, so we'll need to make sure that's super secure. So next, we're going to separate out the colors. First, we're going to separate our blues, so we have our 2 blue strings together. Next, we separate our purples, and then finally we have our greens. And don't worry, throughout this whole process, I'm certain that your strings will get all messed up and in the wrong order. But as soon as you do the first row, you won't even be able to get confused because they'll have a natural order and they'll just kind of fall into place. So as long as you do that first row and you make sure you know what order they have to be in, you're good. So I've already done the first row, and now I'll remind you how to make a forward 4 knot. So you're going to make a 4, you're going to take the tail, and you're going to weave that tail right up through the center of the 4 and pull really tight. See, I'll show you again. This one's a little smaller, how I usually do my stitches. It makes it a little easier for me. So I make the 4, I take the tail through the center of the 4 and pull up really super tight. Remember, you have to do 2 forward 4 knots on each string. Now, instead of doing all of the strings together like we would for the Chinese staircase, you're going to do them on each string individually. So I just did 2 on the purple, and now I'm going to do 2 on the second purple. So you're going to do 2 forward 4 knots on each individual string. I'm doing 2 on the first purple, 2 on the second purple, 2 on the green, 2 on the second green, and then at the end I will do 2 forward 4 knots on the blue string that I already made the first row with. So you're going to go across all of them all the way to the right. Now I guess you could do this right to left, but we're just not going to make it complicated. So I've sped it up here. You can just see I'm making 2 forward 4 knots on each individual string, and I just sped it up so you wouldn't have to hear me saying it 20 times in a row. It's basically the same across each string. And then after I'm done doing this blue string, I would do a row of purple, and then after I was done with that purple, I'd do another row of purple, and then I'd do a row of green, and I'd do another row of green, and then I'd start over with the blue again. Crazy stuff. It gets a little repetitive, but I like to listen to some really fun music while I do it to keep me company and, you know, sing while I work. So now you can see I'm doing my next row with the purple. I've sped that up too, making 1 forward 4 knot, another forward 4 knot. Now if you're having trouble with these guys, go ahead and check out, either rewind the video a little bit, or for a super clear version, you can look at the Chinese staircase tutorial. So, don't worry if your rows are a little slanted. That happens. It's just going to happen. The only problem you'd worry about is twisting, and that usually only happens if you're using a water bottle. So yeah, once again, you can use a water bottle, you can use a clipboard, or you can just tape it down to a surface like I'm doing. You could even safety pin it to your jeans or something, but I haven't really tried that one, so can't verify. I've just definitely seen people doing it. So I've done 3 rows, 2 blue rows, 2 purple rows, and 2 green rows. So you can see here I have my 2 blue, 2 purple, and 2 green, and it's just going to continue like that. So you can see I do 2 more blue rows, and then 2 more purple, and it just keeps going left to right, left to right, left to right. So now, after a little bit of time, it takes time, definitely. Even the simpler bracelets, they take time, even for me. I have my finished bracelet. So now I'm going to finish it off. I'm not going to do any fancy ties for this one. That can come in a later video because it's a little complicated. We're just on our beginner videos right now. But I'm just going to tie a nice little knot to secure the ends. You don't want to forget the knot. You could end up fraying your bracelet or losing some strings. So I tied a nice tight knot. And this was actually the perfect size for me. It's sometimes hard to tell what size you want to make it, but just keep measuring it around your wrist. So I undid the tape, and now we're ready to try her on. Oh, isn't she beautiful? I really like these colors. It reminds me of Buzz Lightyear or someone from Monsters, Inc. Probably Sully and that other guy with the Cyclops eye. So now I'm going to cut off the ends of my string, and there we go. It's beautiful. It goes really nicely with our Chinese staircase bracelet. You can see I have them both with super simple tied knots around my wrist, and they're really cute together. Click on the card above if you want to watch the Chinese staircase video, and I think that's about it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was really fun to make, and I'm super excited to move on to the chevron, which I think will be our next tutorial. If you're excited about that, let me know if you are wanting any specific patterns that you've seen, like hearts or stars or crazy stuff. I will definitely be getting to them in the future, but if you have specific suggestions, please let me know. I'd love to see your bracelets, and I'll see you all next time.